I'm going to just bear with.
No problem.
There we go. Just making sure it's going. And I am going to share my screen. And you can tell me once you start seeing my computer here. Can you see my
Okay.
computer?
Yep, of course. Welcome to
Okay,
Program Webinars
perfect.
Launch. Okay, yeah.
Okay, awesome. All right, so welcome. So this is a weekly call that we host each and every week regarding the Juice Plus business as well as our product. And today, of course, is Monday, December the 28th, 2020. And just before I get right into the presentation, I'll just do a quick recap of who I am for those of you who don't know me. Rami, who has been tuning in live now. So just a reminder, so I am a mom of two little girls, and I'm a wife, and I am a type 1 diabetic champion. And I always say I have superpowers. And I'm also an interior decorator and fine artist who is your living your best life expert. And I invite those of you to follow me who are on Instagram, and I can be found at One Vibrant Diabetic. And so the reason that we're here to talk about the products in the business is because as a whole, we are unhealthy. 1 in 4 people will die of heart disease. 1 in 2 women and 1 in 3 men will develop cancer. 1 in 3 will have diabetes by 2050. 1 in 5 children is obese. And the fact that our children are more harmed by poor diet than by exposure to drugs, alcohol, and tobacco combined, to me, that is just a very frightening statistic. And so we're going to take a deep dive into overall what is causing, this lack of nutrition and lack of nutrition overall and what we're being exposed to on the daily, otherwise known as environmental toxins. And the fact is that they are increasing, and there's many different ways that we're taking it in through pollution, the air that we breathe, water contaminants, pesticides, prescriptions, over-the-counter drugs, chemicals, skincare products, hair care products, and plastics. And so as you can see by the diagram, we're getting it in every single way known to man. Even if we're not even aware of it, we're getting it in some capacity. But the fact is that besides all that, our food quality as a whole is decreasing. And more than 50% of what Americans eat is processed. And by processed, we're referring to the preservatives, the flavor enhancers, emulsifiers, synthetic vitamins, growth hormones, genetically modified products, less nutrition overall, pesticides, trans fats, and artificial colors. And so if you just look to the stat on broccoli and the fact that we lose 50 to 80% of its key nutrients before we've even purchased it. And so the fact is, I mean, I say all those negative things of what we're being exposed to on the daily, but the fact is we actually have more control over this whole situation than we think. And we can do a lot to increase our overall life to be healthier. And we can do that by increasing the amount we're moving our body through exercise, that we're getting sufficient sleep. The ideal is 7 to 8 hours, whether we're managing our stress or not. We know that stress is a huge component in living a healthier life. We know that we need to drink water, at least half our body weight in ounces. And we definitely want to make a choice to use safer products overall. And the fact is, we need to eat real food. And so let's just take a deep dive into that. We know that we need to really focus on fruits and veggies. And the fact is, experts agree that most diseases are preventable with good nutrition. And on the daily, we are being exposed to something by the fact of oxidative stress. And if you're not familiar with what that is, I always think this diagram does a great job in showing like what stress does to an apple. And in this case, we're kind of showing you the similarity, right? And so we know that air and oxygen cause an apple to go brown. So that's the assimilation of what oxidative stress is doing to our insides, to our skin, causing it to age into disease, versus if we have good antioxidants flowing through the body in the way of fruits and vegetables, it helps protect the cells from this oxidative stress. And so the news is that fruits and veggies aren't just good for us. It's the fact that they are so good for us that they could literally save our lives. And that's from Time Magazine in 2003. So the fact is, we need to get more servings of fruits and veggies. The ideal is anywhere from 7 to 15 servings every single day, and athletes need even more than that. And if you're wondering, like, why do we need so many? Well, the fact is, produce is picked before the nutrition fully develops, and that's really, really important to know because it essentially they do that knowing they're going to have to transport it thousands of miles, right? And so it's picked before it's meant to be picked. And so we're missing out on so much nutrition that was rich in that plant versus picking it when it's actually at its peak ripeness. We're going to dig into that a little bit more a little later. But the fact is, 90% of Americans just simply are not eating enough of these servings, and we're nowhere near getting the variety. Right, when we talk about eating the rainbow that we're supposed to be getting, because we know with eating the rainbow, you're getting a variety of different nutrients, right? With that's inherent in that color that shows up with a type of produce. And so this is actually a great diagram of the difference between eating real food, otherwise known as a whole food, as compared to, say, a multivitamin. And 70% of Americans are trying to fill the gap with a multivitamin. And it has really only a few isolated nutrients. Whereas this apple here, we're looking at over 10,000 phytonutrients that work synergistically, and they're designed so they work together versus, as I say, something like an isolated vitamin that is not going to have the power of all this other nutrition working to its benefit. And so research shows that isolated vitamins may do actual more harm than they will do good. And so I'm just going to show you. So on the left is the isolated vitamin, and you just look at that little listing, and to the right, all those different prints, all those different nutrients are showing up naturally in an apple. So it's extremely powerful. And so with that, we know we're not getting enough. Okay. And so that's why you're here tonight, to learn how can we increase our fruits and veggie intake? How can we get more plants into our diet to get us to where we need to get to? And Juice Plus adds in the nutrition for over 30 fruits, vegetables, and berries into the diet. And so what it is that it's the whole foods that I talked about earlier. Well, they're harvested at the peak of ripeness, which means that they're taken off the vine when it's at its pure best time to be picked, and so that the nutrition is still intact. And then what they do is they take the produce, pulverizing it, not juicing it, but pulverizing it, and then they dry it into powders at really low temperatures, so to preserve the nutrition. And the plant powders are simply put into the form of capsules, delicious chewables, and on the right-hand side, you'll see our omegas, which they use omega-rich algae, berries, and seeds instead of fish. And that's really important to know that we go straight to the source rather than going by way of fish, which of course we'll get into a little bit more later on. But we're not only having to kill a living being, but we're also taking in the toxicity of that fish at the same time. So this is why it's so beautiful to do something like our omega blend, where we just go straight right to the rich omega source. And it's what's regarded as highly bioavailable. All of our capsules and gummies, they're all bioavailable. And what that means is, because it's real food and it's not a vitamin, the body knows exactly what to do with it. It absorbs it and it uses the nutrition right away. And it's proven to work on a cellular level. And so it's really cool to think what this does for the body. And so we want to look at, well, why is that? We talk about what's so important about these fruits and veggies and berries versus the real thing, and wanting to eat the rainbow. So if you look at like the fruits, the vegetables, and the berries, just take a look at the variety that you're seeing in there and ask yourself on the daily, are you getting anywhere near that kind of variety? Because I can tell you, for most of us, those who really strive to meet the minimum are barely able to meet it on the daily. It's just almost simply impossible. And the quantities you'd have to consume. And if you're like me, as a diabetic, and one person who's on the call tonight is a diabetic. And so if we were to take in the amount of servings a day of what we're supposed to have, it would compromise us in the way of the overall carbohydrates and the body being able to take in that type of nutrition. So it's really beautiful that the sugar is extracted when you get it through this form. And so I mentioned earlier about the plant-based omegas and why these ones are particularly special. But overall, let's just talk about why we want omegas. And they do so much in the way of our heart, our brain, joints, skin, and eyes. And so I always say it's like our brain food, but it does so much more than that. But the fact is that they're 100% plant-based, as I mentioned. They're pure and sustainable. as well as we're getting the full spectrum of omegas, and they are cold pressed, and they're also vegan capsules. And so you'll see to the left, we've got algal oil, sea buckthorn berry oil, pomegranate seed oil, raspberry seed oil, safflower seed oil, and tomato seed oil. And so with that, we're just going to take a further dive into another product that we have, which I am a huge promoter of. I love it, and I take it on the daily. I never miss my shake powder, but it's called The Complete, and it's vegan and made with non-GMO ingredients. So it's very pure. It's gluten and dairy free. And what's beautiful about it is that it has the ideal amount of protein. So we know that the body at one time can only absorb anywhere from 10 to 15 grams at a time. And so we've hit the sweet spot sitting at 13 grams. It has 8 grams of fiber, but it's also low glycemic, which means it's not going to spike your blood sugar. It's amazing at stabilizing blood sugar. And as a type 1 diabetic, I am living proof. I can tell you, I use this every single day, and I use it before going into a workout, after. It's amazing for building up, not just giving us energy, but also helping us recover from workouts. But just look at all the amount of plants that you find in this plant powder. It's not just a protein powder, but it's a nutritional shake powder. We have broccoli sprouts, radish sprouts, alfalfa sprouts, chickpea powder, millet, quinoa, amaranth, pea protein, rice protein, water wash soy, and mushrooms. And so it's a huge variety that you're likely not getting on the daily. I know that I wasn't. Hi, Lydia. I just saw Lydia has just signed in. And the fact is, this is very important to state, the safety of the soy depends on the source, right? And so the whole soybean that's minimally processed, as you will find in our Juice Plus Complete, provides the best and most balanced defense against disease. And that's as quoted by Kim Dalzell, who's an oncologist dietitian, or an oncology dietitian. And so our products are really unique. That's why I say at the beginning is that we're not a multivitamin, we are a food. You will see on every single product that we have a food label. It's made with non-GMO ingredients. We're vegan, we're kosher, dairy, and gluten-free. And it's NSF certified by a third party. And what that means is that everything that's on the label is exactly what's in it, nothing more, nothing less. There's absolutely no banned substances. It's also NSF certified for sports certified capsules that we have for professional athletes. We have that available. But the fact is that Juice Plus is the most highly researched brand name nutritional product in the world. And when I printed this recently, it said 35 peer reviewed, and we're now sitting at over 38 studies and counting as of 2020, and we're still going strong. And it is, proof is in the pudding. I mean, the research really shows that children ages 4 through 18, along with a full-time college student, that when they enroll in our Healthy Starts for Families program, whereby they receive our products for up to 4 years with a paying adult sponsor. And so what that means is that if you were to place an order for, say, our fruits, veggies, or fruits, veggie, berries, omegas, that you can enroll this child, and every single order that you place for yourself, they receive free product for up to 4 years. And all they have to do, and all you have to do, is fill out the occasional survey. We just check in and see how you're feeling and if you've noticed a change. And here's some amazing stats that after the beginning, after you begin the family health study, the parents are reporting to us the following about their children: 60% missing fewer days of school, 56 taking fewer over-the-counter and or prescription drugs, 71% drinking more water, 66% visiting the doctor less, 71% consuming less fast food and soft drinks, and drum roll please, 61% are eating more fruits and vegetables. And that was taken, the results were taken from over 1.5 million family participants over the last 20 years. And what we have going on right now, we have this promotion happening until the end of the month, so only a few more days left, that with your order of your adult order of capsules, and you place this child under what is called our Family Healthy Starts that we just talked about. So not only does your child receive their product for free for up to 4 years, you actually get a free bag of shake powder, which is equivalent to $50 Canadian savings, and all you have to do is pay $5 for the shipping. So it's pretty amazing deal. And so just quickly, I just wanted to share. So there's two of a gajillion different types of testimonials, but the one on the left, I just feel is one of the most impactful. This is Ella. She originally had 75 food allergies, 75, with sensitivities as well. And her mom, who's a nutritionist, had been trying to heal her gut for 2 years with having no results, little results. And within 4 months of her taking the Juice Plus products, 50% of her allergies were gone. And after 1 year of Ella taking the products every single day, she was suddenly allergy and symptom free. She was able to bridge the gap in Ella's diet so that her body could really help heal from inside. And that little cutie on the right-hand side actually is my daughter, Izzy. And before she started, I can tell you her winters were brutal. She would be struck with the flu, pneumonia at age 2, antibiotics every single winter, puffers. She was dealing with chronic bronchitis like her mom. This used to be me. And she'd also be dealing with strep throat in the wintertime. And so, of course, with that came all of the above, having to go on the puffers and whatnot. But she'd also have these crazy flare-ups in the summertime and in the wintertime of eczema. And so what we're finding is that very rarely is she getting these flare-ups, that the Juice Plus has really helped heal her inflammation from within. And that we noticed in a very short span of time of her being on the products. And so what we do, so it's pretty cool. Every month we do what's called the Shred 10. And it's essentially a lifestyle program. And so instead of something that's just like a diet that you're just going to take and be done with, or, you see sort of a yo-yo effect, what this is all about is really building healthy, long-standing habits that you want to embrace because you feel so good, you're naturally going to be able to take it on. We take it on every month, but lots of people find, like I did when I first started it and I was feeling so great, that you just want to keep on it every single month, because with it comes these 10 guidelines to follow. It's called the Shred 10 because you shred 10 bad habits. Sometimes you lose 10 pounds or more, but the idea is that you're shredding these habits that no longer serve you, and you replace them with habits that are really wonderful at really getting the body to a state of really thriving and feeling its best. And with it comes group coaching. We have free e-resources like e-cookbooks. And we have so much support and fun that comes along the way. And so the idea is to shred these foods, toxins, and habits that are no longer serving you. And so here's just some before and afters, just a few, to show you that after a few consecutive Shred 10s, this is what some of the results were from countless people who do the shred. Jody on the left, it helped her lose 65 pounds, and she was able to change her mindset around food, allowing me to stop the yo-yo dieting, thinking I had to exercise more calories out than I took in. The guidelines became my family's lifestyle. I have better digestion, way more energy and self-confidence. I've become a better role model for my 2 daughters, showing them that healthy isn't the number on the scale. And then there's Alona at the top between the course of 3 different months. Those are her results that she had noticed. And then we've got Brad on the left. All of a sudden, when he was able to do the Shred 10 consecutively, suddenly he was able to shred, get rid of the inflammation in his body, but all of a sudden start to develop these beautiful, healthy habits. And now suddenly he's able to see the definition in his stomach. And of course, Jen, speaking of definition on the right-hand side, Jen, who's a fitness trainer, personal trainer. So after she was pregnant, the first time, she promised that she'd get back into the best shape of her life. She says, the workouts were only 20% of my journey. What I ate and drank was 80%. I followed the Shred program until it became my lifestyle. It kept me focused on eating mostly whole foods and eliminating foods that caused inflammation. Pretty happy with the progress 9 months later, and she now has 3 children, and I can tell you she's in the best shape of her life. And I love the fact that all of these people talk about, the fact is that it's sustainable, right? That you're building these long-standing healthy habits. And so with that, we invite you to join our mission in inspiring healthy living around the world. And that's Jay Martin, who for over 50 years, so since 1970, the mission has been to inspire healthy living around the world and to build a stable and lasting company that helps as many people as possible realize their dreams. And he's the founder as well as the president of the Juice Plus company, still to this day. And so our Juice Plus model is really, our business model is quite unique. The fact is it's only a $52 annual sign-up fee. You can work it from anywhere all over the world you could be, and you can be working your business. It's very small, but in a very focused product line. with consumable products. It's a supplemental income. There's absolutely no inventory. The only inventory is your own product that you take for yourself with absolutely low overhead. But the business website and supports, that really stands out as what makes us really unique and different. In addition to the products, there's just so much support and it's incredible. It gets better all the time. We launched a brand new website in Canada, in North America actually last week, and it's outstanding. But the commission levels are permanent. So if you were to say, have to, step aside from your business, say somebody in your family got sick or something came up where you had to step aside, you will not lose that level that you left in. You will return back to where you exactly were in the business and continue. And when you get into the upper leadership levels, there's actually a business investment bonus as well as a benefits package. And so there's a lot of reasons why people love the opportunity of becoming a partner with the Juice Plus company. One person said, there's community of like-minded people who support me. Another said, I get paid to share my story, be myself, and connect with people in a real way. I'm partnering with a 50-year-old company that is both stable and innovative. And another person said, I get to be at home, stay at home, a parent, and contribute to our household income. And another said, I found an exciting new career and all the tools for success are available. And so with that, we invite you, if anything that I said tonight is intriguing, is interesting, you want to learn more, I invite you to circle back to the person who invited you. We're really here just to inspire healthy living around the world. That's our number one mission. And I want to invite you to ask you, what would this business do for you? And what would it look for you? In terms of what would it look like? It could be something that just makes such a huge difference in your world. The fact that you're making a difference with inspiring others to get healthier. It could help you cover a car payment, enjoy more time and provide you with financial options, the financial freedom, right? Maybe you're somebody who loves to give back to your community. So this is something that would allow you to afford you that opportunity. And there's been many people where this was their, say, plan B. And with the way the world has gone this past year, it has suddenly become their plan A. And it's amazing, this stat came out recently about Juice Plus being number 3 in all network marketing companies in terms of us gaining momentum. We've had an incredible amount of partners join our mission. And the fact is, people are looking for opportunities to get healthier. And so with that, as I say, please do circle back to the person who invited you to this call. They're definitely interested in your health and of course your financial health and your wealth. So thank you for tuning in tonight. I'm so grateful to have you here. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful evening and just ask us any questions you may have at all. Thank you for tuning in.